Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here. So, of course, I'm letting y'all see Andre. Ooh, man, I gotta really take a sip of... Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Seeing Andre here has got me a little thirsty. Anyway, anyways, no diddy. Um, but, oh man, somebody definitely should... I kind of hope there's a mod, at least in maybe like Elden Ring, of replacing the flask with just baby oil. That would be so funny, but today... It's gonna be a decent episode. It's gonna be a pretty solid episode, I reckon. We have three bosses. We have a boss trifecta this episode. We have Half-Life Spear of the Church. We also have Dark Eater Midir, and if we have enough time, Slave Knight Gale. I would like to tackle these three bosses. All of them are set up, so this will kind of be like a boss rush-ish, but that is my hope for today, to get through those three bosses, finish up the Ring City DLC. Stay tuned to the end of the video. There will be a lore section. There will be a lore section there, so make sure you'll stay tuned for that. In that lore section, I will be covering the past three episodes. Starting with Light the Air Ash, I'll be covering the Ashes of Ariandel DLC and the Ring City DLC. Some Dark Souls 1 stuff will be mentioned, but it's not like you have to go back and watch the Dark Souls 1 with lore. You're just gonna get Spark Notes, and in that video I'm a little bit more specific. But, so, that's kind of the plan for today. This is the second to last episode of Dark Souls 3. I know this has been a promise, like, for a long time coming, so I appreciate y'all for sticking around. Also, again, shout out to the channel and you guys. We got up to 60 subs. It's absolutely fantastic. So we're gonna get into things here, and ooh, I just lagged massively there. But I do want to check on the church one, the miracle maiden. Oh, sorry, my headset wire was literally in my thumbstick. She's still there, still chilling.
Oh, champ, do you wish to? Godspeed, mate.
She's just gonna stay there for the most part. Also, there is an NPC summon for Half-Life Spear of the Church. That's its patches. It's the unbreakable version. Well, not necessarily unbreakable version, but he looks different. Because the patches that is... Oh, that's loaded in. That's interesting. The patches that... Well, see, this patches is here. The DLC is a different patches. So, it's a little strange. But well, maybe it's the same patches. I don't know. Patches is weird. He's the only From Software character to have appeared in every single game. Outside of Armored Core, I don't know if he's actually appeared in Armored Core. But he's in Bloodborne as a half spider, half other thing. I believe he's in Sekiro too. So... I don't think it's shared... Is Shared Grave the one where we need to go? Ring City... I'm not completely sure which bonfire is attached to who. So we're kind of in a little bit of a situation here. I don't know if this is the right... I believe this is the right bonfire. No, this is not. This isn't the correct one. That's not the right one. Okay. So this isn't the right one. So where are we? Are going to go ahead and go different one. It might be Shared Grave. Shared Grave might be the actual correct one. I'm starting to think this might not be the correct one. This is not the right one either, I don't think. Ah, okay. Okay, sorry about all this. I think we actually have to go Ring City Inner Wall. Inner City. I keep interesting. So it's Ring City. It seems like is split into two different. At least the DLC is split into two different bonfire areas, which is interesting. It's just something not necessarily that I was anticipating. Okay, pretty sure we have to go through this locked door here. Yeah, so this bonfire leads to both Dark Intermediate. That's we'd have to jump through that hole to get to him. Actually, no, I think we just have to go down there for it. But we have Half-Life Spear of the Church. I have this guy here, but he doesn't permanently die if I remember correctly. We're gonna draw his attention over here. I'll say, open the damn door! He won't necessarily follow us into here. But okay, so normally this fight is an NPC summon. Like, well, it's another player summoned here, but we don't have that. I'm also not completely sure. Okay, buddy. Okay, I'm just casting my shit. No, he parried! Oh my god! He parried my ass! Oh my god, okay, I don't... This guy's moveset is too varied. What, are you fucking kidding me? He just has perfect parries by default? What the actual fuck? Interesting, so it's basically move mail skill. There better not be a second NPC summon. Oh, I can't do this fight like this. Okay, I'm actually just gonna die here. I can't do this without patches. No, I can't do this without patches. He dodges, this NPC dodges way too much. Has perfect parries. I'm not doing this fight without patches. I'm just simply not. Here we go once again. He's dead. Backstab. We're gonna try to get as many of those on the other one. Backstab. Let's go. Backstab. We're going to Backstab City. Ooh. He's the only one that actually has to die. I mostly need him to distract the other one. Backstab. Come on. Oh, come on. I need him to target patches, actually. Let's go, Backstab! Oh my god. Oh, that can be parried? That can be fucking parried? What? That can be fucking parried? Oh, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this fight anymore. No. No, I'm not. I'm really not doing this fight anymore. I'm being dead serious. Does it parry that? Oh, let's go. Okay. 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 Where the fuck is the bonfire? We're gonna have to take a homeward bone. Um. Oh, okay. Bonfire's up here. All right. Holy fucking shit. Okay. So here's a strange part. I will replay that clip too. Oh, let's go! And slow it down a little bit. But the watching pole, specifically katanas, that okay, I think it's a little strange, but okay. When you hold left bumper, you know, you do your quote unquote what would be an Ash of War, you know, type thing, right? It's the weapon skill. The bumper one, oh wait, it's trigger. Does that, right? The left trigger and right bumper do that. Right? Now, I'm used to the both triggers doing something different. However, it's a parry. It's a parry for the washing pole, which is quite strange. What I didn't realize, and what took me a little bit, took me some time to figure out, is I don't know if it's just me, but the katanas like this was parrying his shield. It shit was parrying his shield, which would set up a visceral. Well, whatever you call it. I call it a visceral because of Bloodborne, but I forget what it's actually called. But you get a visceral from that when he has his shield up. Also, if you stay really close to him, he doesn't do his projectiles as much, but the problem with doing that strategy is it makes it way more difficult to heal. Way more difficult to heal. So, yeah. Patches is still very helpful for that fight to kind of distract the other guy, and so they can kind of do a 1v1, but whatever. But, up next will be Dark Eater Midir. So yeah, there's an NPC summon here, but it's not actually going to be in our favor to do that because it shifts Midir's head. But, man, I don't want to do this. I don't know. There's really only two bosses in general that I have never beaten, outside of Dark Souls 2, of course, and those are Kalameet and Dark Eater Midir, but I never attempted Kalameet, so I don't consider her. Oh, I forgot, we can't actually stand still this time. Okay. Ow. What did I say? He's doing his run thing. I'm not too familiar with dodging those. Yeah, okay. I should see that coming. Holy shit! We might not be ready for him. I don't think we're ready for him. I don't think I'm ready for him. I don't think I'm ready for him yet. Oh my goodness. That's so much damage! And that's so much health! Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm not ready for Midir. I'm not ready for Midir. I'm not ready for Midir. Holy shit. We're going back to Firelink. I am going to, if I have enough runes, I am going to, well, not runes, souls. I'm going to pick up Farragrance Art. You know, it does extra damage to Creatures of the Abyss, which is what Midir is. So I am going to do that real quick. If I have enough to pick it up, at least, that's what I'm going to do.
Ah.
I am not ready. I am... Unless I need their soul, which I think I actually do need their soul in order to actually get that sword. But the problem is I used it!
Ashen 1.
I need the soul in order to get that, don't I? Don't I? Don't I need that? Fuck. Fuck. Damn it. Damn it. So that's who we're actually going to be taking on here. We won't have access to the NPC summon for Dragon Midir, but we're not going to use them. We're not going to use that summon for Midir, so I am perfectly okay with this. Also, y'all, we'll get a lot more scenic shots at a later time, but yeah. It is time! Lave Night Gale is personally one of my favorite Souls game bosses. And again, lore of the DLC will still be explained after this video, so I kind of actually don't have that too much time to focus on Dark Kingdom Midir either. And here we are. At a different point in time. What a shot. What a shot. There we are, we can light the bonfire. We're at Philly Rest. And of course, here's the bridge where we came from. However, as y'all can probably tell, the Ring City is gone. I'm excited. I'm so excited for this. Let's make sure that music's on point. Okay. Actually, let's bring music up to 10. Yes. We're not gonna Ember for this first bit.
Oh, Filianor, help me, please. The Red Hood is come to eat us, to eat our dark souls.
Does he just keep crawling? If I don't hit him? What happens if I let him reach his destination? I had made a decision that would cause a certain deal. Whoa, okay. There he is.
What? Still here? I
Yeah.
hand over that thing, your dark soul, for my lady's painting.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh. Oh, okay. I gotta make sure. Ow. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, okay. Woo! Oh, my current hearing is not helping. Ow. Oh my god! Oh my god! Let's go! Let's go! Okay. He's not dead yet.
Is this the blood? The blood of the dark soul.
Oh, okay. Come on. We got this. Probably not. I'm scared. stamina. We're way too low on stamina. Wait, something's wrong. I'm heavy rolling. Hold on a second. Something's wrong. I'm gonna die here. I should be heavy rolling. I equipped the wrong Havel's ring. I had the wrong Havel's ring on. Okay, he's gonna explode. Ooh! Okay. Oh wow. So close. So close. So close. Can he not be bled? Can he not bleed? Fuck. We don't have enough heals. We don't have enough heals. So, turns out I done goofed and screwed myself over. So, first and foremost, something to understand is that bosses have different resistances and that sort of thing, right? Slave Knight Gale is resistant to slash damage and resistant to bleed. I believe it's actually called critical in this game, but I'm just gonna call it bleed. The problem with this is the washing pole almost the washing pole exclusively does slashing damage. The only time it doesn't is if you're sprinting and then R1, and that's a thrust. But that actually might be considered slash, but yeah, it does exclusively slash damage, and it's critical. Also, the Dark Unimadier is not super resistant to it, but there's different kinds of melee damage. The thrust is because of the sprint thing, but you have standard, thrust, slash, and you have blunt, I believe, as well, which I don't think I have a blunt weapon. So yeah, you have slash, standard, thrust, and blunt. Midir, out of all four of those damage types, Midir is the most resistant to slash. It's also completely immune to bleed. So I have fucked myself over royally. And I can't switch weapon, and I can't swap weapons at all. Also, I'm pretty sure last time I actually did not have Havel's Ring on, because I don't think I had I think I had a lot more points into Vitality. So yeah, I done screwed myself over, but it is literally the next day for me, and I'm gonna give Gale another shot. I can't run through Carthus Rouge like this. I am probably gonna temporarily boost stamina. Is this for a large temporary boost? I don't know how long this lasts though, so. Oh, something I did want to do just in case is Thrones of Cookery. The cookeries. Please let this attempt go well. I need it in the thrust. Flask. Frick. Flask it up. Crap, I dodged early there. You gonna do his thrust? flask it up. Rock. Let's go! Let's go! Okay. Fuck. Ah, okay. Come on. Fuck. Oh no! We're gonna flask up. Come on, I'm concentrating so hard. No. No. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Holy shit, let's go! Oh my god, let's go! Oh my god. Oh my god. Sorry if my audio peaked there. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I did it. Oh my god, I did it. Oh my god, I did it. Oh. First attempt on the next day. Oh my god, I had to concentrate so hard. So hard. Oh my god, I had to concentrate so hard. Y'all don't understand. Oh. But let's go! Let's go! I don't even know how many attempts that took. Oh. Oh, Slave Knight Gale is down. Oh, what a fight. What a fight. In my opinion, one of my favorite fights in Dark Souls 3. Just one of my favorites. You got access to Gale's greatsword. And his crossbow, his repeating crossbow. Which I won't be using either of those, so... Just... Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh. Did that even give me enough to level up? Oh, it did, actually.
Ashen for the link. Very well then take number.
Holy shit. Oh, man. I'm gonna go into dexterity, I think. Or do I go into strength? Strength is my fire, but so does dexterity, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get some points into dexterity.
Ashen one.
How many? Okay, I have 4 embers. Okay.
Ah.
This is actually a little rough. Because I can't buy any more embers.
Ashen one.
Okay. We did get some items there from that fight. We did get Blood of the Dark Soul. As you can see, seeped from the hole within Slave Knight Gale, used as a pigment by his lady in Ariandel to depict a painted world. Gale came upon the pygmy lords who discovered that their blood had long ago dried and so consumed the Dark Soul. So yeah. And then, of course, you have Soul of Slave Knight Gale. So yeah. Okay. Because that fight probably took so long, we do have to go back to Ariandel Chapel, interact with the painter to finish up our quest, and in the next video, we'll be having presumably a boss trifecta of Midir, Nameless King, and Soul of Cinder. Oh, it's burning now. Huh. Probably because of that. But do keep in mind here that we are going to have lore at the end of this video. Also, I mean, come on. If y'all like that Slave Knight Gale, you know, y'all gotta drop a like, alright? Y'all gotta. Also, let me know what is your favorite boss so far. Let me know what's your favorite boss so far that I have fought. Give Blood of the Dark Soul.
Thanks, Ashen one. With this will I paint a world. Please tell me thy name. I would name this painting after thee.
I'll share our
My
name.
thanks. I will paint a world of that name. It will be a cold, dark, and very gentle place. And one day, it will make someone a goodly home. I wonder when Uncle Gale intends his return. I hope the new painting will be to him a gentle home.
Damn.
My thanks I will assure of a call one day.
And that's the end of the painter's quest. This is kind of okay. So I'm not gonna leave it for Lormi to explain all that because Lormi already has a ton of stuff to explain. But basically, there is a combined world theory that combines Bloodborne, at least Bloodborne, Elden Ring to Dark Souls, which I don't personally really. But since the world is painted with blood, Bloodborne being tied into that, because blood is a huge thing in there. I don't really subscribe to the theory, but the painter, we have basically seen the actual kind of end of the Dark Souls 3, of the Dark Souls trilogy. We have kind of seen that, but the painter's really the actual ending, because she will paint an entirely different world, and that'll basically be a new branch essentially. But our personal ending will come until later. We're gonna double check to see if we can upgrade the bow. Yeah, we can. The bow's gonna be super important later, so... Oh, the next lab. Oh, I have 4 of them, so we're not using it, but, like, might as well have a situation. Oh, man.
Pretty beacon.
Pretty be careful. Alright, while I'll look at Andre here, I'm gonna have a couple of things before passing it over to Lormi. First and foremost, I really do appreciate the support on this series so far. Slave Knight Gale is the hardest boss that I have fought to date. Really happy I was able to get it done. I was a little worried due to his resistances, and I don't think we procced bleed a single time in that final fight. Midir is going to be much more of a problem for us specifically. Durability is going to be a massive, massive issue. as you can see, we only have 20 durability. And most weapons have like 80, 70, you know, even our Uchi-Katana has 35. Like, I am pretty worried about Madeira lasting too long and our weapon breaking. I don't really have a backup besides a bow, but the problem is Madeira will start spitting ranged attacks, and we can't really handle that. So I'm not completely sure what I'm going to do with him for him. Oh, also, I do have the Abyss Watchers stuff, but, like, the most important resistances are Dark and Fire, and Abyss Watcher armor is worse. Except for Fire for the chest piece, but, like... Oh, sorry, that's the wrong gauntlet. As you can see, it's, like, worse in every single way to Midir. I mean, to our Sigurd's armor. I don't know how I want to handle Dark and Midir. If y'all have tips for me, leave them for me in the comments. I don't think I can use Pestilent Mist. I don't think I have even enough intelligence or whatever. I don't think I have enough intelligence to even use it. So let me know. Wow, I'm still kind of like feeling from the Gale fight. By the way, when I'm meaning sometimes I record a crap ton of these. Like this, I will probably have 4 hours worth of footage to condense down to 1. That's just usually how these videos go. But again, thanks for tuning in, and I will pass you over to Lormy. Don't worry, y'all will get some more scenic shots of the Ring City, and also y'all get some more scenic shots of the Ashes of Ariendo DLC area as well. So, yeah, there you are. On that note, I'm going to pass you over to Lormy. Hello everyone, I apologize if you hear any clicking in the background. That is Torchic doing her little Sims thing. But, this is Lormy here, and we're going to get into both DLCs. If you haven't seen the previous videos, it is kind of important for this video, for this section, but is it super important? No, but it definitely helps a little bit to understand what I'm going to be referencing. So, first we have the Painted World of Ariandel, aka the Ashes of Ariandel DLC. Besides the fact that it is indeed a painted world, it's nothing necessarily particularly too special about the world itself. Priscilla was the head of that whole section as well. The big thing for this DLC is Sister Fried was taking care of... So in the painted world there is a fire. There's a fire in every single painted world, and the fuel for their fire was the blood of the guy that was kind of hanging over the chalice. And Sister Fried would basically come and kind of comfort him while he was basically keeping all of the creatures and beings in the painted world still alive by literally basically beating the shit out of him, you know, and having him bleed into the chalice. This is also where we meet the painter as well, and you can't really get the full story. Like, Ashes of Ariandel and Ring City they really do go hand in hand. You can't really do one without the other. If you have to, the Ring City is arguably better, but they enhance each other, which is why I generally consider them to be one DLC. But the painter here, she is one of, well, she calls Gale Uncle Gale. Are they related? It's kind of unclear. I don't think so. We'll get more into Gale's involvement when we get to the Ring City section, but that's kind of it for Ashes of well, at least for Sister Fried. Yeah, basically, the guy was beating the shit out of himself to basically keep fueling the fire. Sister Fried's involvement, I am assuming, is just to comfort him for the most part, and their job is to take care of the denizens of Ariandel. Now, the Champion Watcher's Grave, this is more so just a massive reference to Artorias of the Abyss. His little Artorias's gravestone is here, but it's a painted world, so it's this is just a rendition of it. It's not actually the physical space that Artorias was buried. You can also tell by the size of the arena. I definitely feel like Artorias' arena was a little bit bigger than this, but again, nothing in the painted world is necessarily, at least the environment isn't necessarily in relation to the real world, so to speak. So it's just a massive reference. It is really honestly just a worse. It's just not a good fight. I really don't like the Grave Tender and that sort of thing, but I mean, to each their own. It's just I'm personally not a huge fan of this fight, but it's just a reference. It doesn't go that much deeper into there, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Now on to Drag's Heap. Of course, we have that beautiful, beautiful eclipse there in the sky, and we're kind of at World's End. This is not going to. I'm not going to explain where we are exactly until we reach the end of the game. The Slave Knight Gale has been kind of guiding us kind of along the same journey, well, pretty much guiding us down the same path he went to obtain the Dark Soul to help his painter out and to help the girl out. His job, he's devoted to helping the girl and helping the painter. I'm going to refer to her as the painter from now on. But we fall into the Demon Prince's arena. Now, the Demon Prince, they are basically super imps. They are the imps that we see at the beginning, well, when we reached Anor Londo in Dark Souls 1, but also later on. But they're just big. They're big versions. They are the Demon Princes. So that's why I like their kind of head shape looks the same. So that's why I argue that they are basically souped up versions of this. Bloodborne does this as well with Dark Souls. Well, Bloodborne does this as well with Lawrence vs. Vicar being souped up version of the Cleric Beast. Now, this area, all this little broken down area, is, in my opinion, a reference to Quelaag, and because the position of the area is eerily similar to Quelaag's. Now, the Ring City itself. Now, the Ring City does have a crap ton of lore, so in the background you might see the environment kind of looping a little bit, but that's perfectly fine. Well, so I'm a little bit more comfortable talking about the area and whatnot. So, the Ring City is kind of interesting. So basically, you know, the original Lords of Cinder, you had Gravelord Nito, Witches of Izalith, you had Lord Gwyn, you also had, it wasn't, well, Seath of Scalus technically wasn't it, but you have the furtive Pygmy, you have the furtive Pygmy, who is granted the gift of the Dark Soul, and Witches of Izalith were granted Pyromancy, well, not necessarily Pyromancy, but they all gained a lot of power. Now, the furtive Pygmy, even despite helping them defeat the dragons and everything, and the Age of Ancients, the furtive Pygmy was kind of cast aside. Him and his people were cast aside. And essentially, the Ring City is a very, very fabled city in the fact that this is basically where he basically chucked all of the people that had the the furtive Pygmy and all of his disciples and everything. Eventually, the Dark Soul will get passed down to 8 kings by the seams of things. But we'll kind of get there. But they would rule over the Ring City. They did construct this city, and Gwyn wanted to keep an eye, but wanted to keep them separate from everybody else. Another city that was like this was New Londo. New Londo was another city that, you know, he put a bunch of humans in. And because the kings there ended up trying to embrace the power of the Abyss, Lord Gwyn would order it flooded. Because they were kind of getting sick of Gwyn shenanigans. This is also why you do see some, like, adjudicators and whatnot, and some structures and different entities coming from Anor Londo. Now, in terms of the Ring City's DLC's fate, the Abyss has slowly been kind of bubbling to the surface. Dark-Haired Midir is a dragon of the Abyss. Pretty much all bosses that deal dark damage, and even enemies that deal dark damage, have in some way, shape, or form embraced the Abyss. Artorias of the Abyss, the Abyss Watchers, technically did have Abyss inside of them. Slave Knight Gale had abyssal power in him because of the Dark Soul, and Dark-Haired Midir does deal dark damage because he is in the Abyss. He's the Dark Eater, you know. But in terms of the Ring City specifically, it's It's kind of interesting how how sectioned off it is from everybody else. It's basically like a false Anor Londo, if that makes sense, to kind of appease the humans. Gwyn feared, out of all the Lords of Cinder and out of everybody else, he feared the Furtive Pygmy the most. There are some theories that Manus of the Abyss is a Furtive Pygmy. I personally don't believe this. I do think Manus of the Abyss was an attempt to do something different. And also, I feel like the Pygmy would have to at some point have ended up in the Ringed City to end up offspringing that Dark Soul, that original Dark Soul, into different kings. There had to have been some method, some way to have that happen. Now, that's kind of it for the Ringed City. Half-Life Spear of the Church. The Spear of the Church is a covenant, but I'm not really going to get into them too much, because, you know, it's Spear of the Church. Now, another person that's tied to this is Filianor. Filianor was one of Gwyn's daughters. I believe Filianor and someone else is related to Rosaria, the Fingers of the Deep. I believe they're related somehow. I'm not completely sure though. But Filianor's job was essentially to kind of be a ruler for the Ring City. A lot of the NPCs that you can interact there with side with Filianor and everything, and they're like, hey, don't mess with Filianor. Now, Filianor is not necessarily super important to lore-wise. She's more of a conduit for the player to travel to a different point in time. We travel way far into the future, way far into this future. Because in Dark Souls 3, time is kind of collapsing it on itself. You can see that within the space itself, but we'll kind of get there in the next video. Now, basically, Slave Knight, we're going after Slave Knight Gale. Slave Knight Gale is basically going off, right? He's already been through here, which is why we're kind of seeing specters of him kind of guiding us. Go this way, go this way, go this way. We'll get into Slave Knight Gale a little bit more later, but as we go through the path, we're going down a path he's already gone. By the time we get to Filianor, somehow, you know, Gale, well, she kind of... I'm going to guess that she used the last of her strength to keep the illusion of the Ringed City up, and so that no one else knows that what actually happened to the Dark Lords. And then once we touch the little egg thing, she jumps us forward and like to what I personally believe is reality, with Slave Knight Gale kind of just being there, which is, since we broke that illusion, a lot of those NPCs are going to be angry at us when we go back to the illusion. So we see what really happened. That's my interpretation of things. But now we're going to go ahead and get into Slave Knight Gale. Now on to Slave Knight Gale. First, I'm going to discuss the more mechanical things that happened. First and foremost, it took me 10 attempts to beat this boss. It's the most attempts out of any of the bosses so far. However, my personal, since it's my second time, my personal strategy, with using such a yikes weapon for him, don't rely on bleed. Don't rely on critical, which is what I was doing at first. Having my flask up to 13 was super helpful, same with +6. Stamina management was the most difficult part of this. I ended up with like 35 stamina or something like that. Well, not 35 stamina, but 35 levels into endurance. Now, stamina was super, super important. That management was key. Having that Chloranthe ring and the Grass Crest Shield didn't really impact it that much, but any stamina recovery helped. As you saw, when you dodge a hit, only go for 2 hits max. 2 hits max. In this first phase, you can't really stun him out of anything. He doesn't like posture break like some bosses do. However, he does kind of stagger, if that makes sense. He kind of staggers a little bit, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. He does a little stutter step. Now, in his second phase, Sticking to his left side was key. Sticking to that side was key. Um, and I believe Lady Maria, you also stick to one of her sides. I believe it's actually her right side is the side you want to stick to, not her left, but I don't quite remember. But I use that same strategy for Gale, and for his second and third phase, I stuck to his left side. Because most of his attacks will come out of his right side. There's two attacks you have to be careful for. His spell, which he will really only launch if you're at super close range. He'll only want. I mean, if you're too far, he will launch that. However, other than that, he has a crossbow in his left hand that he will. Well, it's a repeating crossbow. He will shoot that as well if you're also at range. So don't think that, hey, just because I'm at range just because you're at range, you're out of range doesn't mean that he can't get you. However, hitting him will make him put away that crossbow. Hitting him will make him put that away. I'm not completely sure about the spell, but yeah. So sometimes you do want to if you see that crossbow come out, hit him once, and he'll put it back away. He'll switch to a different attack because that probably registers to him that, like, hey, he's actually in range. Let's go back to close range. Sorry, my mic sometimes keeps pulling out because I kind of move when I do these videos. But yeah, so when you hit him, he put the stick away. Also, a habit that I had to break was dodging too early, because you want to dodge that second hit, because he's sort of like Starscourge Radahn in the fact that he will double up on a hit. However, for this, he kind of just whoop-bam, whoop-pow. He follows it up usually with the 1-2. Also in his third phase, the lightning is massively telegraphed to you. Those black and white spots on the ground are where the lightning is going to land. So I disagree with the lightning being a part of the arena, not being a thing, but I actually enjoyed it. It ramps up that attention to detail. Because like in the first phase, you're only paying attention. You only really need to pay attention to your stamina, and that's kind of it, and not getting greedy. And his second phase, you have to stack on. Hey, I have to make sure I have to make sure I stay close, manage when to heal, when not to. Sometimes you do have to sacrifice damage for healing, and you have to make sure to stick to that side. And then in his third phase, you have to add on to the lightning. That lightning saved my ass a few times because you can't take you're immune while you're just like on the ground. So that was very fortunate. I got so lucky a lot of times. And you can go out of range. Not saying you can't, because you did see me do that there. But when you go out of range, you have to get back in as soon as possible. Staying close massively helped me. Not playing super aggressive, but I was getting desperate there at the end because I had one flask and I didn't see a perfect opportunity to heal. Usually when Gale does the downward slash, that's a perfect opportunity to heal. However, I was scared. So that third phase is quite chaotic and such a fun fight. Now into his lore. Now, basically, he went down, he, went rolling down in the deep. He went through the Ring City, got to Filianore, got past her to the, which is also probably, I'm assuming that egg thing that she has, it has something to do, or my theory is that it contains, I don't even know if this is correct, but contains the area in which the Dark Souls, like the 8 kings that were holding the Dark Soul were hiding, to make sure it kind of stayed contained. He broke through that, got in, and that's why the egg is decayed, because he's kind of destroyed a bunch of shit in there. So we follow after him. Filianora's facade drops, and you see Filianore, she's actually dead. The world's covered in ash, at least the area is covered in ash. The Ring City's completely buried in it, because Gale went through and just went ham. And he consumed all 8 of the kings, unifying the Dark Soul, and to the point where he can't tell the difference between the people that don't have the Dark Soul and people that do. And we are, of course, Lord of Hollows, so we do actually possess a Dark Soul, so he wants it. He wants it. And he fights us for it, he fights. And, you know, this fight's so good for a few reasons. One, like, Gale definitely knew once he got to the Ring City he wasn't coming out. The last time we ever interact with him is with the Demon Prince, and once we get to the Ring City, we never see an image of him again. He helped us out with Sister Freed, and didn't redirect us at all. Well, he basically sent us to Ashes of Ariandel. He needed someone. I believe he knew that he would have to end up consuming the Dark Soul himself and would need someone else to take it from his corpse. And I think he deemed us to be worthy of that task. So we ended up proving him right and being worthy of that task of taking his Dark Soul and that blood to the Painter. And, you know, what kind of hits is when she asks where Uncle Gale is and if he'll ever come back, and the answer to that is no. Not even the quest that technically should end in a kind of a happy ending doesn't quite end in a happy ending. And by the way, I'm saying 8 Kings specifically because there are 8 chairs, and an amazing detail by From Software, there are 7 bodies in that arena. The 8th one being the guy that was trying to crawl out. Him being the 8th. And, well, maybe him not the 8th, but the guy that he was eating, whatever. One of those. But I do find that to be an interesting detail. The lightning coming down is very, it's just, this boss is my favorite boss of Dark Souls 3. Hands down. Number 2 being Abyss Watchers, to number 3 probably being Jormungand Sigurd. But that I might swap him with Soul of Cinder. I have only fought him Soul of Cinder once, though. But that is it in terms of lore. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the support and everything. I really do appreciate it. We are at 60 subs, so that's absolutely fantastic. Finally making it good on a promise that I made a long time ago. The next episode will be the last Dark Souls 3 episode. It'll be the last one. And that one will be Dark Intermediate, Nameless King, and Soul of Cinder. What a gauntlet. What a gauntlet I'm about to put myself through. I'm hoping that Nameless King, I'll do one attempt legitimately and one attempt with just bowing. And for Soul of Cinder, we're going to fight him. We're probably going to be a little bit strong for him. But that's not too much of an issue. I'm a little bit most worried about Dark Intermediate and running out of embers. If that is a problem, then I'll likely download a mod to just give infinite embers. That's because, and also I might have to summon Yuri of Londor for Soul of Cinder, and that's something that I definitely want to have handled. I at least have one for Soul of Cinder. And we'll be talking about the lore and everything, and that'll be the last that's the last stretch. So thanks for tuning in. Expect the last video sometime next week, maybe. And again, Lethal Company coming in at the beginning of October. So on that note, thanks for tuning in, and I will catch y'all on the flip side.